Hi, my name is Apana, and today I'll be showing you a workflow to move from drone collected imagery from a drone mapping mission to final deliverables that you can share with your client. So now the first thing I have here is the folder where I would put all of the inputs for the QGIS session. And yes, we're using QGIS, which is a GIS software, to further process the drone mapping outputs. To quickly give you an overview of the steps so far, I have flown the drone in a drone mapping mission, collected those images, and used a photogrammetry tool to arrive at certain drone data products. These are things like the digital surface model, DSM, the digital terrain model, which is the DTM, and an orthophoto, which is a collection of images which have been stitched together and which will give you a high level view of a high resolution map view of the land. And similarly, we have a multispectral ortho mosaic as well, which gives you details about the health of the tree, the health of any vegetation, and basically it's the same land represented in more than just the RGB colors. In this particular multispectral drone, we have red edge and near infrared as two additional bands, which are combined with green and blue single filtered bands. So the multispectral is a 4-lens camera. In this case, it can be more. And so that is another orthophoto we have. Then I've also just downloaded these .mtl and .obj files. I might decide to use this later to manually correct and prepare the digital terrain model. Now in photogrammetry, we can't expect radar level of terrain detection, but it's certainly a very good approximation, and it's certainly better than not doing it at all, as is current practice in most places, most survey jobs. So I will be using this project, which is a recent client project, a survey mission. And as I prepare the outputs for this client, I will take you along so that you know how this works. As I mentioned earlier, this is a kind of a template I use for my projects. So first there's a parent folder. I give it the name of the project, the number, like in this case, this is the 28th such project. So 28 followed by the name of the client. So inside that folder, I have 3 folders where I put in specific files. First is the inputs, then there's the session folder where there are a couple more folders for the boundary clipped, and basically outputs get generated here. And I have a 3rd folder for the reports. Currently, I've just put the photogrammetry output reports, which will give you a detail about the GPS quality and other details. For example, here, this is a really good data collection. We have a GPS accuracy of about 3 centimeters, which is excellent. So each image is georeferenced to an accuracy of 3 centimeters. So this is the starting point. I have just done the photogrammetry and I've dragged and dropped the reports here. For the multispectral, I've had to rename it. Of course, from the photogrammetry tool, it would just be something generic like report. But here I've specified this is the multispectral report processing task report, and there's the RGB processing task report. The digital terrain model, the digital surface model, and the high resolution RGB map are outputs of the RGB processing. And things like the health and crop analysis using multispectral is done in a separate workflow in a multispectral processing. So moving on.